We'd like to give a big thank you to our sponsor, French Market Grill West, the best Cajun food in town. Hi Augusta, it's Abby Mufeld with Chronicle Media at AugustaChronicle.com. Thanks for joining us today at Cooking from the Heart in Augusta. We're hanging out with Betty Kingdom, who's going to be showing us how to make shortbread cookies. I'm so excited to learn how to make these because they're actually one of my favorites. Let's go in and see Betty. Betty, thank you so much for having us today.
Well, thanks for coming.
Yeah, we're really excited. So tell me about what you're going to be making.
I'm going to make a coconut lime shortbread cookie today.
Ooh, that's interesting.
Yep, it is actually my signature cookie. As I got into my business, started doing baking, I just really like to come up with some creative ideas and combinations, and ended up finding this recipe and kind of tweaked it, made it my own, but found that my clients love this cookie. It's sweet and buttery, but it's tart and tangy from the lime.
That is a really interesting combination. It's like a pina colada cookie.
Yep, it's very
close.
delicious.
All right, well tell me, what are the first steps we need to take?
So the first thing that I do, and I already have this prepared, but I toast some coconut. So there's a little bit more of a nutty flavor to it, and the real strong coconut flavor kind of is diminished a little bit, and there's a little bit of a crunch to it. So I measured out 1/4 cup and toasted these, and I put this in the food processor.
Okay.
So I put in some toasted coconut, and I am going to actually measure out about a tablespoon of zested lime. I zested some lime from 2 limes.
Smells so good, so fresh.
The rest of this I'm actually saving for the icing.
Okay.
Okay.
Awesome.
So I'll set that aside. Now I'm going to actually measure out some sugar. And a shortbread cookie typically doesn't have very much sugar in it. I put in just about 1/4 cup.
So that makes it healthy, right?
It doesn't. It's,
you're supposed to say yes. It's so healthy.
It's what gives it the really buttery flavor.
Ooh, yeah.
And then I'm going to measure out some flour. It's a little bit over a cup of flour. And I use the kind of scoop and air out method.
Okay.
Some people actually will sift their flour.
So is this pre-sifted or not sifted at all?
It is not sifted at all. So I just kind of scoop out. I'm going to actually put in a little bit of lime extract.
All right.
And a little bit of vanilla. The vanilla actually gives it a little bit more of that buttery, creamy flavor that everybody loves.
Yes. So about 1/4 teaspoon.
About 1/4 teaspoon of each. And then I'm actually going to squeeze in about 1/2 lime. That adds some more of that tartness along with that real buttery flavor.
Yummy.
And then just a pinch of salt. I'm going to pulse this.
Okay.
And now I add actually 1/2 cup of butter. It's a full stick.
All right. Is it melted or just softened?
It's typically as cold as you can make it. That helps keep a little bit of the flakiness and crispness of the cookie itself.
Oh, that's
the only
good
thing
to know.
that I do is I cut it up into pieces because that helps to create the dough.
Okay. Yeah, at this point I'd probably be trying to put the whole stick in there and making a big mess.
Here I'm actually going to pulse this until it actually forms the dough, the actual cookie dough.
Okay.
And now as you can see, it's actually pretty big chunks of dough. And once I pull this out, I'll form it into an actual ball or a dough ball, and then I'll roll it out.
Okay.
So I am actually creating the cookie dough. I'm gonna form a little disc. As you can see, I floured the top so it doesn't stick. And I'm going to roll this out. So over the last year, I have actually tweaked this recipe, I bet 100 times. And just changes and just things that people have come back with suggestions or whatever, and I have found that now I've mastered this recipe and I can make these so quickly and so easily and consistently, and it's just been a lot of fun. I'm just putting them on the parchment paper. Shortbread cookies have a lot of butter in them, so there's no need to prep the pan other than I do that the parchment paper just so that it's a much easier cleanup. These cookies take about 20 minutes to bake. I bake at a lower temperature for cookies at 325 for about 20 minutes. So I'm going to show you how to make the icing that we put on these cookies. I typically put a very generous teaspoon of the lime zest. So go ahead and scoop out.
Oh, yummy. It smells so good. I'm doing a really great job of getting this in here.
That's
might just have to do another scoop. Okay. Put it in here.
Yep.
Okay.
And then I squeeze the rest of this half lime in there.
Okay. Get some good hand muscles.
Perfect.
All right. There we go.
And then about a tablespoon of water.
All right.
And then we're gonna put a full cup of the powdered sugar in there.
Okay, so
two of those scoops, yep.
Okay. I'm gonna try to do what you did. Your little, oops, oh. Sorry. When I'm in the kitchen, my husband's usually following me with a rag because this is what happens. I spill it everywhere.
That's great.
There we go. So 2 of these.
Yep.
1.
And then I have found that an actual half teaspoon size works well when I'm putting it on the cookie, so I just use that to
Just
mix it up. And if it's a little bit on the thick side, I'll just add a little bit more water. If it's a little on the thin side, then I'll just add a little bit more of the sugar. So after 20 minutes, the baked cookies are finished. Typically wait about 30 minutes for them to cool down so that we can ice them. We don't want to ice them right away because the icing will go all over the place.
It smells so good. I cannot wait to bite into one of these. You can really smell the lime, so I'm sure once we get that glaze on there, it's gonna be even better. Okay guys, I wish you could smell these cookies. They are to die for. So now tell me exactly how we're going to be icing these.
So the cookies have been cooling. They're ready to put the icing on, and it's a like I said, a glaze. It's thinner than a regular icing, and I just pour a dollop right in the center, and then I just swirl it so that there's maybe a 1/4 of an inch from the edge until I get it all the way around. Isn't that great though?
Yummy. Okay, I'm gonna try to do it like you.
So right in the center, and then just use your spoon. You can actually see some of the flecks of the toasted coconut in here, which is so pretty.
Yummy. Okay, you ready to taste them?
I am.
Moment of truth. Cheers. Oh my gosh. You're right, that coconut is not overpowering at all. I taste more of the lime.
And the butter.
Oh my gosh, and the
A
butter.
little bit of the sweetness.
Oh, I could just eat that icing with a spoon.
And that tanginess from the icing is so good.
And how long did you say they usually need to sit?
About 24 hours.
About 24 hours. Do you put them in the refrigerator or leave them?
I leave them at room temperature.
Okay, good to know. Well, guys, I hope you've enjoyed this show today and have fun making these cookies. Thank you so much for having us.
Thank you
This
so
has been
much.
so fun. Y'all have a great day and come back and see us at Cooking from the Heart in Augusta. Thanks again to our sponsor, French Market Grill West.